Who are you?
We're stealing the fucking car. What's it to you?
It's my car. How you gonna die?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Backtrack Cinema. In this review, we will be going through Death Wish 3. So get comfy, get some popcorn, and let's talk Death Wish 3. Death Wish 3 was released in 1985, directed by Michael Winner, and starring Charles Bronson, Ed Lauter, and Martin Balsam. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Backtrack Cinema. My name is Jason, and this is where we talk movies from the past that you love and know. Alright guys, we are on to Death Wish 3. We've talked Death Wish 1, Death Wish 2. If you want to see those videos, then check them out. Click the card, I think, over here maybe, right there. Click those cards. You can watch those and some Dirty Harry reviews I've already done too. I had a lot of fun doing that, but this is one I've been wanting to talk about because Death Wish 3 was my gateway to Charles Bronson. It was my... I love this movie as a kid. And, you know, I watched it a bit as a teenager too. I always had a blast with this one. This movie has an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. I just find that funny. I find that funny, man. That because I had a blast with this movie. Even watching it now, I this is one of my favorite action movies of the 80s. Actually, I love this one. This one made me fall in love with Charles Bronson. And after I watched this, I was Bronson crazy, man. Wanted to watch all Bronson's movies. And this is 1985 now, guys. So we're in a time of, you know, over the top cheesy action movies with, you know, with Rambo 2 and Commando. Why not Bronson have a crack at that old machine gun, right? Why not? Why not? And don't expect the first couple movies where they're more serious in tone. The first one being a character study. This one's Charles Bronson taking out the trash, and we love watching him do it. We love so many things of the way he sets traps for them. This big chaos third act. Like a war zone right in the bloody streets, man. You know what it is? It's Rambo meets the Warriors.
Can you dig it?
You know, and this one's not so much about revenge. It's more about, you know, it's the reckoning. It's justice and the reckoning. And there's this real Magnificent Seven kind of vibes to this film. You know, Charles Bronson being in the Magnificent Seven. So, you know, these bunch of cowboys come in, you know, protect this town, and they end up teaching this town how to fight back. Kind of similar, you know, where Charles Bronson's like this lone wolf. He comes in, he protects this town, and then at the third act, the people who live in this neighborhood that's run over by thugs and rapists and murderers, they all get together and fight back. So it gave me that real kind of Magnificent Seven kind of vibe to it. And that's the thing about Charles Bronson. He's the original tough guy. He doesn't come at you with kung fu or flying kicks. Does he throw a mean right cross? Yes. Can he handle himself in tight spaces? Absolutely. But Bronson's methods are a lot more extreme, theatrical, and to the point. Charles Bronson. So Paul Kersey arrives back in New York City and is forced by a crooked police chief to fight street crime caused by a large gang terrorizing the neighborhoods. So right at the beginning of this movie, Paul Kersey gets arrested. He gets arrested. They think he killed his friend and all that kind of stuff. And the police chief, kind of crooked, he makes a deal with them. He said, you can have your freedom as long as you know, take out the trash. Go out and do your thing, but let us cops have some arrests from time to time. And so it ends up being this war against these thugs. And they do a good job of making you hate the thugs. I mean, you hate these little bastards. They like I said, they look like something out of the Warriors. They're just, you know, they pick on the elderly, they beat up old people who have fought in wars, who fought for this country. So this is a despicable gang. They beat people up, they steal things, they're all freaking hooked on drugs and everything like that. But we finally get a villain, like an actual villain for Charles Bronson. That's what I like about this. They actually set up a villain, and it starts off when Paul's arrested at the beginning, where they meet in jail. And right away, they hate each other. There's a tension between them. They get into a fight. And this is building up through the whole movie right to the end.
Hey, man, I always win.
But see, the other movies, they were just random thugs and everything. I mean, he found all the people who raped his daughter and everything, but they didn't really have they weren't a fleshed out character. Not that this villain is either, but they give him a really good villain. And for every protagonist we like, we gotta have a great antagonist, right? And I really like this character of Fraker and this gang leader. He shows his dominance. He shows that he's the gang leader. No one's gonna take that away from him. He kills his own gang members, man. But he's a great villain and really gets under Charles Bronson's skin in this. And it ends up this being a war between these two where both of them just won't back down. And it's like tit for tat, you know what I mean? But Charles Bronson takes care of this freaking guy. I mean, one of the most memorable things as a kid I remember, because they think they killed him, but he was wearing body armor, the bad guy. Charles Bronson takes a fucking rocket launcher and blows him out of a freaking apartment building. But for some reason, as a kid, in my mind, I remember the bad guy, like, just blood coming out of his mouth, and he's on the freaking pavement, and he's dead and everything.
Just like yours. Stay just like that. You can't have both of us. Let me.
Oh, relax, lady. You hardly knew the guy. You just see him get the building blow up, you know what I mean? Another great part in this movie I love is, like, I love the way he sets his traps for all these bad guys. When they walk into homes, it's like he's setting up boards to hit them, you know, where a board hits a guy and then the guy's teeth get stuck inside the board, stuff like that. And just the way Charles Bronson goes about doing his thing, you know, where he comes out, these guys are stealing his car, ripping off all his stereo equipment. And they're like, oh, we're going to kill you. And they got knives, and Charles Bronson just pulls out his gun. Bam, bam. Just fun. Like, they go for that overtop fun. You just got to sit back and have fun with this movie, because that's what it is. It's just fun and seeing Paul Kersey take out the trash. He orders this gun, and he's like it's a friend. It's like a character in the movie. And when he finally arrives, he's like, Wildley's here. And it's this, I forget what it is. I think it's a 457 Magnum. You know what? Let me know in the comments, guys. I cannot remember what it is, but it's got stopping power, man. There's this one guy they call the Giggler, who steals people's purses, and he runs off because he's so fast. And stupid as hell, though. I mean, Charles Bronson gets some ice cream. He starts walking, he's swinging his camera like this, baiting the guy. He just lines him right up, and he's just like, when this makes a mess out of him, man. It's awesome. It's awesome, man. And of course, Michael Winner can't seem to resist not having a rape scene. So there's another rape scene. It's toned down compared to the other ones we've seen, but I think there's an uncut version too of this film. But for the tone they were going after, we did not need another rape scene. One of the ladies, she gets raped. They take her back to where these thugs hang out, and they rape her. She ends up getting killed. It just makes you hate them even more, but it's just not needed. Like, I felt like the tone of this film, you didn't have to do any of that stuff. So that's a negative. It's like after the third movie, if you're just having fun with this now, you didn't need any of that. This movie turns out to full-scale war at the end in this neighborhood. Cop cars exploding. Charles Bronson's just wasting everyone. He's got this old World War, like, kind of Browning machine gun. And his buddy's, like, carrying the ammo box around while he's just mowing people down. And he's got, Wildley, and he's got the handgun taking people out. It just goes balls to the wall action. And I think it's, it's not cut the best. It's like this film's not edited great. Like, it's not a great film technically, but you're going to have a blast with the way Bronson takes care of business and rides off into the sunset at the end. But the action in this, at the end of this, is just, it's awesome. Always had a blast with it, man. Always had a blast with it. It's, it's entertaining as hell. Death Wish 3 just takes that source material, starts having fun with it, and goes balls to the wall, cheesy action. It's 1985, so guys, don't expect much more than that. This is Bronson taking out the trash, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to give Death Wish 3 a B. It is badass. But what about you guys? What do you think of Death Wish 3? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a great discussion about Charles Bronson and this movie. My name is Jason. You are watching Backtrack Cinema, and I will see you on the next video, and I will see you in the movies, man. Cheers.
You